Okay, now let's break down billboards and mailers. So let's start off with billboards because the distinction we need to make here is what's the difference between brand marketing and direct marketing. And really the main thing to understand is brand marketing is focused mostly on affecting culture. So back to that culture loop of behavior, normalized behavior, culture, behavior, normalized behavior, culture. It's more interested in affecting that. So think of Coca-Cola, think of even McDonald's or like movie posters. So chances are you see that billboard, you're not driving out of the freeway to take that action, but you're likely talking about it. You talk to your friends about a movie you've seen on a billboard, or maybe you talked about the McRib is back or something like that. So billboards are mostly for affecting a culture through brand marketing. So the mistake is to mix up the two. So the mistake is to do billboards and expect conversions and expect people to take action, to maybe put a tracking phone number on here and wonder where are all the phone numbers, like why aren't they coming in? And then the mistake with direct marketing would be to be like, okay, why isn't this changing people's behavior? It's because we're not affecting anything meaningful. Yes, if you do direct marketing, you might affect culture to some degree, and if you do brand marketing, you might get some degree of conversions and like metrics and action taking, but that is typically the exception and not the rule. All right, so with that said, I'm going to be showing you later much more effective ways of affecting culture without having to spend thousands on a billboard, because we're going to be directed at the people who are actually going to be influencing our culture and not just a random group of people. For our purposes, billboards is way too broadly targeted, and there's much more efficient ways of doing it without having to pay all this money. So for that reason, billboards are going to be out of our ecosystem. Okay, let's take a look at mailers. So mailers are a type of direct mail. So direct marketing. So when it comes to direct marketing, make sure you measure everything. Tracking and ROI is the key. The way you get to ROI is through tracking and iteration. So let's take a look at mailers. How does this perform? And this was the last campaign that I ran, and after this, I'm never going to run a mailer campaign again, and I'll show you why. So we sent about 500 pieces of mail out, and we spent about $900 to do this. This was a little bit pricier. You could probably do this for around $600 or so, and this includes like printing, design, packaging, postage, and all that. Also to like to filter, like to get an address list. You get the idea. So we sent it out to 500 people. It had an offer with a QR code on it, and we were tracking how many people scanned this QR code. So we got about a 1% conversion, so from 500 to 5, which is about industry standard. If you get a posted in the mail, if you're not expecting anything, chances are that it's going to be spam. So we only get a 1% conversion, which is typical. And then from here, from the 5 people who scanned onto the landing page, we expect about a 5% conversion, because now we know that these people are interested. And depending on the strength of your landing page, the strength of your offer and things like that, it's going to influence this number, this rate at which they convert. And the number of people who actually take the action that we wanted to was 0. Well, theoretically, it should have been 0.25. I guess the universe rounded down. So how much would it have cost us to generate one action? So multiply by 4 to get 1, right? So we would have to go back and then multiply this by 4. So that would be about $3,600 to generate one action using mailers. How much would it have cost us if we did the same thing using Facebook ads? Well, for our industry, the industry average right now is about $60 per action. So you can see why mailers are going out of fashion. It is a very ineffective way to get the kind of action that we want people to make. Think back to propellants. Mailers have been around so much longer than Facebook ads. People are much number to it. It's been it's a product of the system that it's been run through for much longer So it's just going to be a lot worse. It's just an outdated propellant. So that's why we don't do mailers. And this is a good case study for myself to remind myself that, hey, there's a reason it doesn't work so well. Another reason I want to add is that Facebook, you can target by interest. It's psychographics. But mailers, you target by demographics. So again, that breaks our approach of modern marketing. So I hope that explains why billboards and mailers are probably not your go-to these days.